Today I'm going to make some French onion grilled cheese sandwiches. I'm going to use some Vidalia onions. Some nice sweet onions are going to be caramelized. I'm going to cook some portobello sliders just to get them well done before we assemble the sandwiches. Also going to use some Swiss cheese slices and some butter, of course, and the other main ingredient is some Tuscan bread. This is made at Wegmans. It's thin sliced and it's nice for a nice crispy sandwich, and it's very flavorful. So I'm going to start by chopping up the onions into slices, and then I'm going to use a little bit of oil to get them to start cooking, and we're going to cook them until they're nicely browned and caramelized. Now the onions are kind of small. I'm going to make slices like this on the halves. I want them to be about this thick. And then we're going to pull them apart in the frying pan so the pieces are small, not real giant size, because our bread is rather small slices. Now I started about a tablespoon of oil in the pan just to have the onions to have something to start cooking before the moisture comes out of the onions. Let's just separate them a little bit and throw them in. Get the sizzle going, and we're going to saute them until they become nice and brown. At some point along the way, if they get a little dry, we're going to add a small amount of water just to get the steam to come through the onions and start the caramelizing. Nice. They already smell good, don't they? I'm using the portobello slider size mushrooms here. They seem a little large, but when they cook, they will shrink. You'll see. First I'm going to wash them off real good, because you can see they got peat moss and dirt and whatever on them, but we always wash the mushrooms real good. And then I'm going to take the stems out and chop them up too. I'm going to make 3 nice sandwiches here, so I think 3 mushrooms will suit. Okay, the onions are starting to soften up and do exactly what we need them to do. Alright, I'm going to add a little water to one of my pans. I have the cleaned mushroom caps here, and we're just going to fill them in and let them start cooking. Now you can see how nice and golden brown these onions are turning right now. If we stop the process right here, we're going to have onions that taste sweeter. If we keep going until they're darker brown, they're going to be more savory flavored. This is one of the tips my sister gave me about onions. Dawn, thanks for the info. Now, I'm just going to add a little bit of water to make the steam come up through. It's going to be noisy, but it's going to help the process move along. And the water will evaporate. They're looking good, aren't they? We're going to go for the savory stage, so we're going to cook them a little longer. Alright, I have the mushroom caps exactly where I like to have them. Look how nice and thin they are. And they're nice and tender, nice and brown. Great. I turned off the heat, and I'm going to transfer the onions, which are also finished. Take a look at those. I'm going to take those and transfer them right into this pan with the mushroom caps and let them sit there and keep warm while I get the bread ready. Just going to sit them on the side. Everything will stay warm and delicious. Alright. Now I'm going to go butter the bread, and we're going to use the Copper Chef pan to cook the sandwiches and make them nice and toasty. Alright, I just emptied out the pan and wiped it out a slight bit. I don't think we need to wash pans in between this, because we want the same flavors if there are any left in the pan. I'm buttering both sides of a sandwich here. This is the Tuscan bread. It's nice and soft and fresh, but a little crusty on the outside. And I have some softened butter just to give it a swipe. I'm going to lay that butter side down. And I have the stove still on medium here, so that when we get the whole sandwich together, everything stays warm. And all we want to do here is get it a little bit crunchy. So, all right, now let's start filling the sandwich. I have a couple slices of Swiss cheese, and we're going to start by putting them in. Alright, so since the shape of the bread is a little funny, we're just going to cover the bottom of these slices with some pieces of Swiss. Make sure everything's going to be nice and cheesy when we open it up. Then we're going to take the smallest mushroom here and we're going to spread this across the smallest piece of bread. And we'll take the next one, medium size, and spread it across the next one. And the giant size one we'll put in the big piece. Look how I wanted to kind of show you the inside as I cut them. Aren't they nice? Nice meaty mushrooms. Alright, now we also have some other mushroom pieces floating around in here because I used all the stems also. Now we're going to take some of the onions, spread them over top. It's okay if they're coming out the edges a little bit because we're going to pick it all up as a nice melty sandwich and flip it over. Alright, now I'm just going to add a little bit more cheese to the top of this. Again, I'm going to take these slices and kind of spread them out because they will start to run together here as they melt. Does this look like a bowl of French onion soup to you? Oh my God. Alright, let's get the lids on them. And we're going to, as soon as the bottom is warmed up, we're going to flip them over and toast the top side too. Alright, I'm going to flip them over now. Get the other side nice and golden brown. Wow. Yummy. And as the cheese is melting, it's starting to hold everything together in there. Beautiful. Beautiful. Alright, I'm going to turn the burner off and let them just toast up on the bottom. Then we'll put them on a plate and show you how they look inside. You can see the cheese bubbling in here. Can you get a good shot of that? Oh, look at that cheese melting. Yummy. Alright, they're nice and gooey here. I'm going to put them on a plate. This is nice because they're loaded. Loaded. So make sure this one's going to fit. Nice and cheesy. Alright. Now I'm going to just add a few onions to the top here of each one. And we're going to cut them open and show you how they look. Okay, here's our serving of 3 sandwiches. All nice and golden brown with some onions to garnish it. Let's cut them open and see how it looks inside. You can hear the crunch of the bread. Look how they are on a plate to serve them. Here's our French onion grilled cheese sandwich. Try this recipe if you like it. Thanks for watching.